Teresa is the Vice President of BDPA South Region. She is joining us, and she'll be talking a little bit about her organization. Now, I want to just provide a little bit of backdrop here. National BDPA is going to be transitioning into a regional governance model, and some of our guests throughout the last few months have identified their roles. Teresa is the first ever South Region Vice President. Now, she brings 20 years of information technology and professional experience, including the implementation and management of business software solutions. Now, what's exciting is that she's worked in various industries as a programmer, a LAN administrator, an applications manager, and a project manager. And she has served as the BDPA Atlanta chapter president in 2008 through 2009. The Atlanta chapter had remarkable growth in terms of membership and programs under Teresa's leadership. And so we're really here to ask Teresa some questions and get a sense of the vision that she has for the South region. So welcome, Teresa. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Thank you.
Oh, thanks again for being on the show. Now, I often ask this question, so this time I'm going to start with it first for you. And the question is, what attracted you to BDPA? And, why and what keeps you involved in BDPA at a very active leadership role?
Well, that's a good question. I'm glad we're opening up with that question because it made me think back. When I joined BDPA, I was employed as an IT manager with Delta Technology. And one of our senior directors at Delta Technology, Alonzo Howe, he was very active in BDPA at one time. And at the time that I worked with him, he was a member of the ITSMS group. But he was still a big supporter of BDPA, and he felt that it was important to expose the black professionals at Delta to BDPA. So he basically gently encouraged a few of us to join. With the support of Delta Technology, they paid our membership dues. I joined. In the first year I joined, I attended a few meetings, but I wasn't really hooked. What hooked me was when I attended the BDPA National Leadership Conference in Detroit. And that's when I really saw the big picture, and I caught the bug. I was blown away with the professionalism of the BDPA members as well as their corporate sponsors. It was really clear to me that the impact that BDPA had on the community at large. The seminars, the career fair, the awards banquet, they were all first-class events, and I really was hooked. It gave me an opportunity to network with corporate leaders and senior IT professionals. But what really was the clincher was to see the pride and the excitement in the young people's eyes when they were competing, and then at the awards banquet when they were waiting anxiously to hear what chapters won the top honor. You couldn't help but be very happy for them. And that's what motivated me to take a leadership role in the Atlanta chapter. At the time, we didn't have a team from Atlanta. We had competed before, but we didn't bring a team that year to Detroit. And I went back home and I said, we have got to take some young people to the conference next year. And lo and behold, next thing I knew, I was chapter president. And so it gave me an opportunity. Sometimes if you open your mouth, you end up getting the job, But it gave me an opportunity to really get involved with the chapter and with the young people. And today, after I was actually chapter president for 3 years, and then I went on to serve as the immediate past president and now in this role. But I stay involved with BDPA because it's something that you really can see what impact we have on the community, especially the future generation. And it's very unique as far as an organization goes that they put so much time and energy and love and passion, not so much in their current careers, because not that we all don't need professional growth, but we do both. While we're trying to help each other as peers grow in our careers, it's also very comforting to reach a hand back and know that you've touched a young person's life and that you may have changed their direction of course. We've had students that maybe were toying with going to college, but after going through our training program and they see the scholarships that they can earn, they actually do attend college, or they'll change a career path because they really understand the impact that technology has on everyone's life, no matter what career you're in. Plus, it doesn't hurt that they realize that you can make some really good money in the IT field. And so in a lot of our students, we've had several that have gone through our HSSC program. They're in college, and they actually come back every year to support the new students that join our team. So they're staying involved. We keep them connected. We communicate with them, and we encourage them to stay connected to BDPA.
Wow. So you have impact and results. You have relationships, and you opened up with really there's this community of members and sponsors and leaders and students. So there's a lot of learning and sharing going on. That is yes. Really powerful. It's really powerful. So given the rich history that you have, the personal connections, and the ability to see how BDPA makes a difference for people, what's your vision in this new role that really hasn't been defined? I mean, on paper there are responsibilities, but what do you see for the South region in your vice president role?
Thanks for asking, Franne. Yeah, you're right. The regional structure is new to BDPA, and it's going to take some time, but one of the exciting prospects for me is that it is new. And so it gives us an opportunity to kind of form the structure as we go. And I like to build. I like to create. And I've been a part of other organizations that were regionally based. So I have an ideal on how well they work and what the challenges are in certain aspects. But I envision the first year there's going to be a year of some clarification and some understanding, quite a bit of lessons learned, hopefully. But one of my goals is to encourage the chapter presidents to form a community within the South region where they can feel free to communicate freely and frequently with each other. That I felt was the benefit of being on the National Board of Directors, is because you did have an opportunity to meet with the other chapter presidents at least quarterly, and you were able to bounce ideas off each other, where you were able to pick up creative ways to motivate your chapter membership or to get sponsorships. And so I don't want to lose that connection that they have with each other. So we will be having monthly conference calls. I'm going to encourage face-to-face meetings wherever possible, and for them to work together and share their accomplishments and lessons learned. With the new regional structure, the chapter presidents, I feel, they'll be able to focus 100% of their time on the success of their chapter without the additional time and financial burden and commitment of serving on the National Board of Directors. So their primary focus will be keeping their chapters up and running, building the future leaders within their chapters, as well as building partnerships with sponsors. All along the way, having the support of myself and Mike Williams, who is the South Region Director. The first step we're going to do the first of the year is we'll start the process with working with the chapter leadership team to ensure that we clearly communicate what the national BDPA vision and strategy is for 2012, and then work closely with each chapter to help align their goals and objectives to the national goals and objectives so that we're all working toward a common goal and common ground. And, we all know with any organization like BDPA or membership retention is an issue. Bringing in new members doesn't seem to be as difficult at times, but keeping the members engaged can be a challenge. And so we're going to focus on helping the chapters that are struggling, and as well as helping chapters that currently are doing well to make sure that they stay healthy and that they're providing informative and educational programs and options for increasing their chapter sponsorships and partnerships in the community. That's going to be a full-time job, I think, for the next 2 years.
Right. And so it is a 2-year commitment / opportunity. We can view it both ways.
Yes.
So it gives you an opportunity to, as you said, get those lessons learned and then adapt and modify based on what you're learning. That's great.
Exactly.
Now, earlier when I was doing a bird's eye view of your bio, I mentioned to the audience that you have over 20 years of experience in the IT industry. And I was hoping that you might take from your experiences and maybe highlight a challenge and a reward of that experience, and then kind of pull out some advice that you would give for people who are, let's focus on that retention concept. They're in the IT field, and given the changes, they're now saying, should I get out? There might not have been as much money as there was before, and there may be more competition. So again, if you could step back and identify a challenge that you had and you overcame, and then one memory or one moment that really was rewarding for you within your career, and based on that, share some advice.
Okay, yes. I think one of the biggest challenges for me personally in the IT field has been keeping up with technology and staying market ready because it's changing so quickly, and there's so much that is now touched by technology. That's a big challenge. BDPA, on the other hand, has really helped me keep my skills sharp. Not maybe so much my technical skills, but it really has helped me sharpen my soft skills so that you can be an IT leader in this field today. And any new emerging technologies that I want to know a little bit more about, all I have to do is, basically request that maybe we find a speaker on that topic, and it's an opportunity to network and hear from industry leaders in that area of interest. One of the rewards, I've had many rewards over the last 20-plus years in technology, and it's hard to pinpoint one, but one of my most recent one was earning my PMP certification 3 years ago. That was something I'd always wanted to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, of course, again, it was BDPA's help that I was able to pass that exam because I enrolled in BDPA's PMI exam program to prepare me to take the exam that they offer through Auburn University. And
right.
as far as advice for professionals in the field, the one big advice I would give, and I do still today because I teach part-time, I teach a technology class at a local college here, is that you really have to make sure, along with your technology skills, that you keep or you build or you gain your interpersonal skills. You want to be someone that others want to work with. You can be top-notch technologist, but if no one wants to work with you, then it's going to be very difficult to find an opportunity in this field. And you want to keep and grow your personal and professional network. That's very important. Don't wait until you need to network. Get involved in BDPA while you're currently happily employed or have your own business, because undoubtedly you will, along the way, be looking for a new opportunity or a career change, and you're going to need to be connected. And it's very hard to get connected when you're out there in the field. You want to do it before you need it.
Wow, great advice. And, it's interesting. We do focus so much on technology, and the people skills are absolutely critical. It's the connection. So, wow, Teresa, I love your energy level. You're just
thank you.
It's just exciting. It's exciting to hear you, and I can hear the passion and the commitment. And I almost feel that I'm being redundant, and so I'm going to ask, as you wrap up, as you think about what, a final thought for the audience, what would that be? Because you've given us lots of gems along the way.
Well, a final thought would be, get excited, get involved, join BDPA. When you join BDPA, don't be afraid to volunteer. Don't wait to be asked. If you see that there's a need or you have a skill set or a connection, then just jump in and get involved, network, and let others know what your skills are and what your interests are. With any type of organization, volunteer organization such as BDPA, we rely on folks that have the energy and the passion to want to serve. Because without that servant mentality, then you normally will not see the reward of being in an organization such as BDPA, because that's our core. We love to help others. And along the way, as you're serving and working with other professionals and the young people, lo and behold, you get a lot of blessings in return. My last 2 career changes have been a result of my network and connections within BDPA. And that, it doesn't get much better than that.
Wow, that is definitely a cliffhanger. I want to call you back and say, okay, so tell us more about that. So I guess Dr. President in the South region will be able to ask that on your next conference call in January.
It's a wonderful story, and I will be happy to share that on another call.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, Teresa, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story and definitely bringing to life and light the BDPA philosophy and how it's practiced. And I really look forward to hearing about the success stories that come out of the South region over the next few months and years. So thank you so much, and have a great holiday season.
Thank you. You too, Fran.
Thanks.